So this tank is looking absolutely fabulous. The anemones are just booming. The soft corals are just absolutely loving it. Now I have been a little bit concerned that the water quality hasn't been exactly right, but the fish are looking great, and the corals that we've got in there are all doing very, very well. But you do have to trust your water quality, because even when it all looks really good, if your water quality isn't right, you do have to be aware that with time, the immune system of the corals can fall, and then the tank will start to not look right. So you do have to trust your water. But geez, this tank looks good. Hey buddy, what do you reckon? What do you think, mate? What do you think? Good? It's really looking good. And it really helps to have easy to keep coral, because some of these corals just look so good, even though the water isn't perfect. It's really important that we keep sucking all the crap out of the sand, because you can see how much waste we're pulling out of the tank. So we want to be doing this regularly to pull all this waste out, so our nutrient levels don't come up, because our coral's looking so good and we want to keep them looking good. We don't want them to end up deteriorating due to nutrient levels. And getting in behind the reef is really important. So systematically, it's really good to get in behind the reef, and it's also good to drag a lot of the sand out. I try and drag a lot of the sand out the front, and the sand is what holds all the waste, because we want to really keep the sand nice and clean, and we'll end up pulling out very dirty water like that, because if we can pull out real dirty water and put in clean water, then we're really improving our situation. And try to make sure that we have plenty of snails and sand sifting stars and strom shells and various things to agitate the back and clean it up is a really good idea. Just replacing the biopellets in this biopellet reactor, because they need to be redone every now and then. Now that these are getting replaced, it's really important this skimmer's cleaned regularly. Now it often is cleaned regularly, so I'm happy about that. But I'm also going to clean out the impeller of the pump and the housing, because that needs to be done on a regular basis as well. Now I've just replaced some algon, pulled out the old ones, put in some new ones. Be careful cleaning filter material, because these little things, bristle worms, they sting the crap out of you. That's why you really want to use gloves for cleaning pre-filter material. Just burning them with some hot water at the moment. You really want them out of the tank. They don't really harm anything except they piss you off and itch you. So just be very careful with them. Make sure you use gloves. And be smarter than me, because I rarely ever use gloves. Do as I say, don't do as I do. Now I'm going to put some more copepods in this aquarium, because I want as many copepods as possible to go through the back of the reef and help to keep it nice and clean. So on a regular basis, we will try to increase our populations of copepods. It's really important after you do any sort of service, especially if you're rearranging stuff, to watch the way the corals open up, because we want to make sure that all the corals are not going to sting each other, and we want to make sure that things like snails don't end up upside down, so we want to just flick them over. Just keep an eye on it. And often when I leave, the visibility is actually not very good and the corals are all closed, so you do have to watch them over the next couple of days, because as they open up and as the visibility increases, then we need to make sure that all the corals are in a good position, which isn't always apparent straight away. This tank's really bloomed since we put this extra pump on. Now over time, the magnet cleaners do need to be replaced. So this thing here is probably the best thing you'll ever buy. But over time they do deteriorate, so either bring this down to the shop and get the blade replaced, probably all you need to do. So a new blade, and this thing will probably be good as new, instead of just having to buy a whole new unit, because if you're leaving it in there all the time, over time it will rust, regardless of the quality of the material.